Let's begin indeed. Hello people, so Jerry speaking. Welcome to CrazyBunch's WebShow number 140. Today we're doing not one, not two, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 depth topics, followed by 2 more news reports related to PBS. And then we're going to discuss some news that we're going to share with you all related to what happened this past weekend. And afterwards we have ended the past week. So let's talk about it now, shall we? So we got for us. Let's start with Derek Martin. Born Derek William Rapp. He was an English actor with his career spanning over more than 5 decades. He began his start as man before moving to acting, appearing in a range of British television roles, including the Tribe Jones Law of 1978, became cast in 1985 until 1988. For taking on his most prominent role, Charles Strider sang the BBC soap opera which he portrayed from 2000 to 2011, with brief appearances from 2013 to 2016. He was born Derek William Rapp on April 11, 1943. Missed with the words here. Anyway, in Bow, London, England. Before becoming an actor, he worked as a personal gambler, mall racer, meat market, porter, and debt collector. He also undertook national service in the Royal Air Force. He began his entertainment career as a stuntman on programs, including Doctor Who, after breaking the collarbone, filming a drama, Elizabeth R. Let's Say What. He switched to acting. He appeared in the BBC television series Paul Tembo and the ITV series The Governor. His film credits include Secrets of the Windmill Girl 1966, Beef in 1973, Nebsco Neo 1975, that's what I'm not going to say, Express, aka The Directions 1975, Adventures of Plumbers Made 1978, Ragtime 1981, Spaghetti House 1982, and Boston Takeout 1995. I was born. But in 1978, Martin co-starred with Peter D. the BBC television series Law and Order. Played Detective Inspector Fred Bell from 1981 until 1982. Played Deputy Detective Inspector Borg. 2 series of the BBC drama, Johnny's Detective. In the same year, 1982, became the second actor to take on the role of R.D. Wingfield's official Detective Inspector Jack Frost. Starring in the BBC radio adaptation A Touch of Frost. In 1984, he appeared in the episode of the 5th series of Minder. The following year, he was cast in the lead in Kingdom Castle, something like that, alongside Nigel Platter, which ran for 2 series until 1988. Devising something like that, and co-written by the Swedish career Ian Kennedy Martin, something like that. The drama featured Martin as 4 policemen, Ronald K. Right now, Ryan and Adept collection energy, something like that, in London East End. He later appeared in the role as gangster Alex Morris. His other television work included guest roles in numbers of programmings. One of them turned Doctor Who to play policeman David Mitchell. In Image and Furio in 1977, 20 episodes, Message of the Gods, Civilian, Spooner, Upstairs, Downstairs, The Bill, and Only the Fool, something like that. Only fool horses, something like that. Well, that means the most about. Anyway, he always plays himself in an episode of The Middle Britain and starred in the short film Piggy Bay in 2004. He also played Charlie Slayer and EastEnders in September 2000. In April 2010, he it was announced that he would be cut from the show along with 5 other actors. In early 2011, he was filming a guest stunts when Charlie returned from 2 episodes around April 2011. He returned from another 2 episodes, and at Christmas 2013, on February 11, 2013, it was reported that plans for Martin to return, but he was cancelled at all costs. Wow. But in October, it was announced that he would be making a brief appearance over the Christmas and New Year period. They would make his final appearance in January 2016, one of the worst years ever. In which his character died after suffering a fatal heart attack. Very nifty, I guess. In January 2012, Martin appeared on one of the first 5 couples in the third series of Celebrity Coach Trip, partnering fellow actor John Altman. From 2010 to 2011, Martin served as key rat of the Grey or the Wire Rats. Wow, Wire Rats, something like that. In the entertainment industry, sharing infirmity. Personal life and death. He was married twice. First to Christina Reed in 1961, then to Corey Mitchell in 1971. Both marriages ended in divorce. He had 2 sons. In February 2010, it was reported that he was due to undergo knee surgery later that year. A condition he survived at old age, playing football and carrying meat during his earlier work at Smithfield Meat Market. In his later years, Martin lived in Hereford, Henfield, Hampshire, England. He died on the evening of January 10th, 2026. He was 92 years old. His death was announced on social media by a family friend. His agent later confirmed that the news was a statement with the Martin's family, stating that he wasn't just a dad to us. He was a friend and supported for us through highs and lows. And at this, he's never stopped learning. He loved meeting people and was always generous of his time. EastEnders also paid tribute to Martin on their social media pages, stating where there were deaths. Deep saddened to hear of his passing. Describing his portrayal of Charles Shire and slowly commending him to his hearts of the audiences. As head of EastEnders' most iconic families. The next step talks us to Bob Weir, born Robert Hall Weir, something like that. Anyways, Neve Parber, something like that. But anyways, he was an American musician and songwriter, best known as a founding member of the Grateful Dead. After going to Spain in 1995, he was born to form with the other ones, later known as the Dead. Together with the former members of the Grateful Dead, Weir also found playing in several other bands. During and after his career with the Grateful Dead, including Kingfish, the Bob Weir Band, Bob and the Midnight, something like that, Scarring the Children, and Rat Dog, something like that, and Farmer. We co-lead with former the Grateful Dead bassist Phil Lesh, I don't mean it's a bit too slow. But in 2015, we're along with former Grateful Dead members Mickey Hart and Bill. I don't know. I misspoke. Anyway, Blossom Band. Joined with Grammy-winning singers, guitarist John Mayer, bassist Outel Burris, something like that, and keyboardist Jeff Marshall to form the band Dead Company. During his career, the Grateful Dead, where played mostly rhythm guitar, sang most of the band's rock and roll and country western songs. In 1994, he was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Grateful Dead. In 2024, something like that, he was awarded Great Canadian History Honors and a member of the Grateful Dead. He was born in San Francisco on October 16th, 1967, to John Jack Parber, 1925 to 2015, Italian Great German industry, and a fellow college student. Phyllis M. Schick, Keep, 1924 1997, a German, Irish, English industry, who later gave him up for adoption. Wow. He grew up with his adopted parents, Frank Ware and Eleanor Nee Ware. Of Emerson, he began playing guitar at age 13 after less successful administration with the piano and the trumpet. He had difficulties in school due to undiagnosis dyslexia, sorry, because my tongue twisters. But anyway, and he was expelled from nearly every school he attended. Oh boy, God help me. Anyways, he couldn't mellow school in Atherton and Fountain Valley schools in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We met future Grateful Dead lyricist John Barry Barrow. Okay? Mix this anyway. His career began with this on New Year's Eve 1963. An underage 16-year-old Weir and his friend were one of the back alleys of Palo Alto looking for a club that would admit them when they heard banjo music, okay? They followed the music in the source Diane Morgan's music store. They encouraged the 21-year-old Jerry Garcia across the date, waiting for his students to arrive. Jerry Garcia spent the night playing music together and then decided to form a band. The Beatles heavily influenced their musical direction. The Beatles were when they turned from the drum band to a rock and roll band. Wow. Said where? What we saw them was doing was impossibly attractive. I couldn't speak of anything else more than was worth doing. Originally called Murray McCree's Upside Drum Champions, the band was renamed Warlocks. Very the Grateful Dead. Okay? Come on, scroll down, please. Thank you. Anyway. Weir played rhythm guitar and sang a large portion of lead vocals for all of the Dead's 30-year career. In the fall of '68, the Dead played some of the concerts without Weir and brought Pigpen McCurran. These shows were the band build and making the heartbeats were intermixed with full lined-up Grateful Dead concerts. In this biography of Jerry Garcia, Blair Jackson says some of that notes this. Garcia lays for that to remind that Weir and Pigpen were not pulling their weight musically in the band. Most of the band fights in this time were about Bobby's guitar playing. Later that year, the band related that they took Weir and Pigpen back in full time. The incident eventually led them to a period of significant growth in Weir's guitar playing. Polish said that when drummer Mickey Harp left the band temporarily in early 1971, he was able to hear Weir playing more than clearly than ever and quote this. I found myself accomplished delighted some of that and excited beyond measure what Bobby was doing. This described Weir's playing as this. Quirky, well goofy. Goofy from Disney, anyway. And notice initially to play chord balancing songs, more something like that on the guitar. With only 4 fingers. Wow. About one you can normally hear for the keyboard. Excuse me. With the 10 fingers. Wow. In the late 70s, he began experimenting with slide guitar techniques and performed certain songs during the Dead shows using the slide. Wow, okay. His unique guitar style was strongly influenced by the hard pop bop of that pianist Corey Tyner, and he had cited artists as diverse as John Coltrane, the revenue of Jerry Davis, and Igor Stravinsky, some of that, and some influences. Writers on the first solo album, Ace, appears in 1972, with the Grateful Dead performing as a band on the album. Both credited eventually, including his lineup and Keith Gottschalk and his wife, Donna, both of whom will be kept the band by the time of this album's release. A live out version of the album's best known song, playing the band has been issued on the Skull Roses album. Wow, okay. The previous year. While continuing to perform as a member of the Grateful Dead in 1985 and 1986, we're playing the Bay Area naked band named Kingfish with friends Kelly, Dave, Barbett, Tolbert, some of them. We contributed to Kelly's 1987 album, Awaiting the Prayer, on Relax Records. In 1988, he formed the Bob Ware Band with Brett Byland, who joined the Grateful Dead for the following year. In 1980, he formed another slide band, Bob and the Midnights, something like that. Before Garcia's death in 1995, he was born. Wow. Rob formed another band, Rad Dog Review, before short to Rad Dog. In Rad Dog, he performed covers of songs by various artists, including the Beatles, Bob Dylan, Chuck Berry, and Willie Dixon, something like that. While also performing many Grateful Dead songs. In addition, Rad Dog performed many of his their originals, most of which were released at these evening moods. Anyway, he's also portrayed in the various reformations of Grateful Dead's members, including 1988, 2000, and 2002, stands of other ones. And in 2003, 2004, and 2009 as a Dead. In 2008, he performed his two Deadhead for Obama, Tens of Obama's concerts. In 2009, Bob Weir and Phil Wedge performed a new band called Fervor, so named in honor for Kensley's famous psychologically painted boss. Wow. In 2011, we were found at the Tamil Boss Research Institute, also known as TRI Studios. TRI is a high-tech, core-studio Tamil music venue. Used to stream live concerts and over the internet in high definition. Wow. In 2012, we were toured to Chris Robinson and the Black Crowes and singer-songwriter Jack Cree as the rear, Robinson Cree as a trio. We restored Rad Dog in March 2013. The Rad Dog collab featured Rear, Jack Ray, Robert Sawyer, and Jonathan Wilson to be on March 3rd that year. As a Sweetwater Music Hall. Oh, that makes more sense anyway. Jason Crosby was the featured guest in the first two shows. On April 1st, 25th, 2013, where collapsed on stage during the further performance at Capitol Theater in Port Colchester, New York. The band finished the show without him. Wow. He performed with the bands 2 days later in Atlantic City, by April 29th. The presenter announced that Weir will be unable to perform in any capacity the next couple of weeks, for unexplained reasons. He resumed performing that summer. Wow, okay. April 23rd, 2014. Scroll down, please. Thank you. On April 24th, 2014, the other one, The Long Strange Trip of Bob Weir, a full premiere of the Toronto Film Festival, directed by Mike Flass. Husband of Miss America 2012, Maria Caballero. On August 10th, 2014, we are about to cancel all of his upcoming appearances. During the Huffington Post, the cancellation, according to Huffington Post, the cancellation includes all shows the rest of the year with his band Rad Dog. Well, as well as a concert of Fervor. According to Jam Base, Rad Dog performing without Weir in Las Vegas in July 2014. Statement stating this. A statement from the venue said Weir was under the weather. Wow. In early 2015 in July, Weir joined the other original living members of the Grateful Dead, Mickey Hart, Bill Kussman, and Bill Resch, for 3 shows at Soldier Field in Chicago. Three Sports Surviving members, those of Core 4, were joined by Jeff Cormasi on keys and Fish's very own Trey Azarios, pronounce his last name, sorry. On lead guitarist share vocals, and Bruce Armstrong on piano. The unit was 20 years nearly to the day since the band was filed because of Jeff Gosh's same venue in 1995. Dave V. Will, celebrating 50 years of Grateful Dead, was billed as the original 4 members' last performance together. Based on demand, 2 additional Fairfield Well concerts were added to the series, performed late June 2015 in Levy Stadium, California. On October 5th, 2015, we performed with Rat Dog a special celebrated 60th birthday bash with Steve Krenbach. It was the first time Rat Dog has ever performed since his cancellation of his 2014 summer tour. In late 2015, we were teamed up with former Grateful Dead bandmates Mickey Hart and Billy Crossman, guitarist John Mayer, bassist Ozil Burridge, and keyboardist Jeff Warmers to form Dan Company. They played 22 shows starting at the end of October, including with the 4 shows New Year's run, including 2 shows in San Francisco and Los Angeles, and with a 3-set show on New Year's Eve. The band concluded its final tour on July 16th, 2023, Noah Parks in San Francisco on January 21st, January 2024. The band announced a concert residency in Spear, Las Vegas, Nevada. Been in May 2024. While 18 shows were announced in Italy, the rest was extended to 30 shows in August 2024. In May 2016, one of the worst years ever, I know. He was the guest speaker and performer at the 2nd annual Einstein Gala in Toronto, Canada. The event honoring the legacy of stupid Albert Einstein, new visionaries who in the arts and sciences. We were spoken about what science and revolution have meant to him. Anyway, we were performing the solo sets with that. I was joined mid-set by guitarist Dan Cater. In the same month, he also confirmed in the interview with The Guardian that he was writing a book. In 2016, the same year, a live recording career performance with Nashville was inducted according to the day-to-day release. His 2012 collaboration with members of the National as part of a bridge session helped pave the way for the Grateful Dead tribute. In June 2016, he at the Bios Arts Music Festival, he received the first ever Les Paul Spirit Award, the Les Paul Foundation. Michael Barnes, the foundation executive director, said this: "I cannot think of anyone more fitting to be honored with the first annual Les Paul Spirit Award than Bob Weir. Not only is he an extraordinary talent who has given us an amazing area of legendary music, but he's also a embodied who understands music, technologies, and the spirit of Les Paul. If Les was still alive today, I've absolutely no doubt he and Bob would be experimenting together at TRI Studios or at Les's house, and the results will be extraordinary." Where received the 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award in the 2016 Electronic Honors Awards in Nashville, Tennessee. In September 2016, he released a new album of cowboy songs titled Blue Mountain. The release following by the tour began in October 2016. The album was inspired by his time working a ranch hand in Wyoming when he was 15 years old. During the spring of 2018, we are preparing for a series of concerts like that. But with former Grateful Dead bassist Phil Wedge, the duo with guest musicians with Bill, with Bobby and Bill. In 2018, we'll perform a band called Wolf Brothers. Bill was as Bob Burns and the Wolf Brothers. The group initially was a trio, with Rare on the guitar and vocals, Don Was, an upright bass, and Jay Wayne on drums. They toured the US in the fall of 2018, then spring of 2019, early 2020. In late 2020 and early 2021, the band played several concerts at TRA Studios, with Jeff Chalmers on keyboards and Greg Webs on pedal steel guitar. Pedal steel guitar, anyway. After the first of these shows, the band also added a horn and string sessions called the Woodpack, sponsoring Brian Switzer on trumpet, Species on trombone, Sean Brown on saxophone, clarinet, and flute, and Matt Showey on violin, and Alex Kelly on cello. In the summer of 2021, stars of immensely now billed as Bobby Weir and the Wolf Brothers played several concerts in Colorado and California. In 2022, after the pandemic finally stopped the touring, Weir and the Wolf Brothers resumed playing shows, touring the US in the spring, Wolfpack string session, including with the May 1st, 2022 show with Mickey Hart, Sugar Houston, and revised Panic Drum. Pair of shows raised Music Hall in April, marking the 50th anniversary of Weir's album Ace. The fall of 2022, Bobby Weir and Wolf Brothers featuring the Wolfpack tour, including 4 shows in Kansas City in October, something like that. The 2023 Weir tour, including 3 February concerts with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra and Atlanta Symphony Hall, something like that. In April 2023, Bobby Weir and Wolf Brothers trio played 4 shows at the Guild Theater in Menlo Park. As part of the band's fall 2023 run, go down please, thank you. Bobby Weir and Wolf Brothers, something like that, featured the Wolfpack, joined Willie Nelson's Music Festival for 7 shows in September. The band tour ended with a especially the Capitol Theater in New York, something like that. We are performing in the first Deadhead Festival in Caution in January 2024. We also have 2024 appearances, including a show with the String Cheese Incident, Bills of Bob Brewer Incident, and New Year's Eve, Brian Farmdale. In December, he was president of the Grateful Dead with the Dutch and the Kansas City Harders. In January 2025, we will return to Ecuador the second Deadhead Festival in Guadalajara, Mexico. We also performed alongside the lineup including Social Citizen, Mick Martula, also Rutledge, Brady Charlie, and others. For 2 months, spring 2025 registry was booked with Dead and City, Spirit, Las Vegas. In the meantime, on January 41st, we are Mickey Hart and Grateful Dead family members accepting Music Care's Person of the Year Award for the personal work. Bobby Weir and Wolf Brothers Symphony Project. Now, in 2022, Bobby Weir and Wolf Brothers launched a series of performances in the symphony orchestras with 4 solo shows for the National Symphony Orchestra, Kennedy Center. The concert features side collaborations, the Grateful Dead's classics, solo numbers and covers. It was series resumed in February 2023 with 3 concerts in Atlanta with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, and October 2023, Bob Weir and Wolf Brothers performed with the Sanford Symphony Orchestra and Frost on the Beer. Series playing up in the fall 2024 tour. It's Bobby Weir and Wolf Brothers featured the Wolfpack, was packed by Cincinnati Pops Orchestra in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Chicago Public and Chicago, Illinois, Louisiana, Parsons Orchestra in New Orleans, Louisiana. Anyways, a total of 5 shows. Wow. The concert programs include a Grateful Orchestra by Guado Already. The music from Grateful Dead albums include Maxwell and Wait Flood and Shakedown Street. The next evening show was scheduled for June 21st, 2025, which is a week before I turned 30. Wow. The Royal Albert Hall, London, with Roger Concert Hall. Concert Orchestra, Monday. Anyway. Personal life, okay? And then death. And we'll move on to the next step topic. Okay? Along with fellow Grateful Dead bandmate Ron Paypan McFarlane, Will was arrested with possession with marijuana in the raid, which occurred with the band's commercial home on October 2nd, 1987. He remained unmarried throughout his years in his Grateful Dead. Although he lived for several years, 1969-1975, with Frankie Hart. Hart has been a go-go dancer, Department Lodge in New York, and has worked with Apple Records, American marketing department, for Apple Records in London, and had performed in TV shows such as Harbaugh and Shine D.I.G. Anyway, she has originally inspiration for the Robert Hunter Bob Burr song Sugar Magnolia, whereas many clients from Mickey Hart, who dated her briefly, something like that. He married for her first Grateful Dead show in New York in 1988. Her real name was at that time was Frankie Azora for the previous marriage, but used her stage name Frankie Hart. After appearing Barry Hart's last name. Wow. After she were never married, she adopted his last name after moving him with him, and was especially known as Frankie Ware. July 15th, 1999, Neil and Natasha Marshall were married in Mill Valley, California. Together they have 2 daughters. Her sister-in-law is Ashley Marr, 4 race car driver, Arsia racing series cars. He was a long-term veterinarian and unfortunately animal rights who was mentioned in the filing the farm scholarships from that. Anyway, in February 2004, he captured Scripps Award Super Sage Award, Super Bowl production of New England, being South Carolina. Wow. 33 to 24. Was close to the actual 32 to 29 score. Weir's production was most accolades of 148 celebrities, whose production Scripps Howard's Celebrities Super Bowl Paul. Weir was on the board of directors of Rex Foundation, Ford Foundation, and Telecow. He was also a member of the advisory board of the Jerry Scholarship Foundation along with Peter Scorpio and Seth Rogen. He was also nominated for board of directors board of directors of the virtual organization called Rainforest Action Network, along with Woody Harrelson, Bobby Wright, and John Desmore. He's also on the board of directors of Little Kids Rock, non-profit organization that provides free musical instruments and instruction to children in underserved public schools throughout the U.S. In the summer of 2025, Will was diagnosed with cancer. Despite beating the cancer, he died in underlying swallowing issues on January 10th, 2026, yesterday. He was 78 years old. Next step, top story of T.J. Carr. Born Thomas Kent Carr, he was best known as an American actor, but best known role for his roles in films Corbett Summer 1988, Corbett in 1981, The Fade 1982, Dr. Corbett in 1983, Runway 20 1985, Space Jam 1986, and The Corner 2000, as well as the TV series such as Just a Luck, as the series lead, Punky Brewster, Sinbad Show, Dave, Good Morning Miss Blast, as well as the stage by about the junior high years. He was born in New York City on December 18th, 1956, in New York City. He grew up in the San Gabriel Valley area, Southern California. In films, he was mostly known for his May comedic performances, such as Street Smart Chester, Seems Like Old Times, and karaoke singing, Iceman Ski Patrol. Okay? He's also known for playing slightly nervous characters, such as the roller skating chef Knowles in John Carpenter's The Fade, as well as unfortunate National Guardsman Cribs and Hot Water Hell's Sorry Comfort. On television, he was known for playing Mike Fallen, another school teacher on the ABC series Punky Brewster, and Milo Williams in the Disney Channel series Good Morning Miss Bliss. Carr was also best known for playing the role for drug addict Gary McGall on the HBO miniseries The Corner, performance that Boston Globe said this. Perfect captures the gentleness and possibility that can have the additions easily as comic books. His first starring role on the television was on Just Our Luck. His second debut was on the episode Police Woman. He's also made appearances on Good Times, The Sinbad Show, The Steve Harvey Show, A Different World, and the television films Polly, the 1990 sequel. He died at his home in Doherty, California on January 9th, 2026, last Friday. He was 69 years old. Next step top is Tina Packer, born Christina Packer. He was a British stage director. She was a British stage director and actress based in the United States. Wow. Educated Royal Academy of Drag Arts. She originally worked as an actress, starring the BBC television serial David Copperfield. After she quit acting and became a stage director in the United States, she founded the Shakespeare and theater company Shakespeare and Company, serving as art director for the Shakespeare Foundation in 1988 until 2009. She was born in Wolverhampton, Shropshire, England, on September 28th, 1938. Okay? She was raised in Mallingham, educated in the Quaker School, as well as the West Bergman Grammar School. She had spent 2 years in France with an older man that she had been in a relationship with before they broke off. Originally working with the magazine editorial office. She decided to go into acting before I say this. I suppose I'm a natural born exhibitist. Returning to the Kingdom, she was educated at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Graduated in 1954 with a Muslim Award for Most Promising Actress. She then worked with the Royal Shakespeare Company, where she had visited while she was a youth, as an associate artist. Despite her contract lasting 3 years, she left early to star David Copperfield, which she starred as Dora Spencerwell. She was experienced in Doctor Who, as well as the 1997 movie To a Penny. However, she felt that she lacked a voice as a performer. After a season of adaptation of Washington Square was cut from the final broadcast, she quit acting. In 1981, she began working in London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, where she was stage director and teacher, before she moved to the United States to direct Shakespeare plays. She started Shakespeare Company, an experiment of Shakespeare and Computer Company funded by the CBS Foundation and Ford Foundation in 1984. She named the company after the bookstore of the same name. She often visited during her time in Paris. After a poor connection reception in the United States, despite the funding, she took a brief hiatus from stage direction, and in 1978, she was rather less famous Salvation, the Kennedy Center, and then started Shakespeare Company in Massachusetts, one international Shakespearean theater. She was one art director of Shakespeare comedy, holding the position until stepping down in 2009. Her first directed performance in the comedy had been done outdoors because the matches had not been stored yet, despite having a special reception being most likely lackluster, something like that. It was praised in the Village Boys become well-known in New York City and stage director. She was also used colorblind casting. Shakespeare plays allowed black and Asian actors to appear in traditional white roles. In 1985, a book from Helen Ashman and Packer on Packer and the Company, Tina Packer Bill's Appear was published, and WGBA-TV Boston aired a documentary centered around her. Sex, Violence, and Poetry. In 2008, Anna Flores and Wendy Vargel call her one of the four directors of Shakespeare in the United States. She won the 2019 Shakespeare Theatre Association's Lifetime Achievement Award. Wow. Okay. Scroll down. In 1991, she directed a version of Hamlet of North Sir musical theater in West Africa performer by a professional black American cast. In 1993, she directed Boston Center for the Arts production of John L. Bison's Berkeley Ship Square, John Thomas with that. Bronski's Do It For One, as well as the Canadian stage comedy production of Marcia's Chamberlain's She won a She was also director of the Boston Shakespeare Company. She also directed several adaptations of works of E.F. Warson, who have lived and Mount herself. She has also done acting in addition to directing, calling, directing such as Security, Omniscient. He's also worked as a Shakespeare teacher in higher education, including the Columbia University MBA programming, and in 1994, she's awarded a Graduation Fellowship. She's also published power plays, Shakespeare Lessons, Leadership, and Management in 2001, Tales of Shakespeare in 2004, Library Collection book Woman of Will in 2016, and Shakespeare Comedy when action is acquired in 2020. Anyway. She is married to actor Roy Asbury, she had a son, Shakespeare Comedy actor Jason Asbury. The couple separated around the time she left acting, but did not live formally divorced until the early 80s. In 1998, she married Dennis Coswick, a stage acting educator and Shakespeare Comedy co-founder. Wow. They remained married until his death in 2018. Around the mid-60s, she resided in Wilkes-Barre, Northamptonshire, England, later Stockbridge, Massachusetts. She died on January 6, 2026, in Boston Medical Center. She was 87 years old. My next topic has to do with the composer brought you the shows I liked as a kid and all things like that. His name is Guy Moon, born Guy Vernon Moon. He was an American composer who worked on animated shows best known as Very Odd Parents, some shows I catch up on like Danny Phantom and Johnny Test. Moon was born and grew up in Fort Addison, Wisconsin on February 7, 1982. And attended the University of Arizona in 1980. He moved to California in 1986, inspired by musical works of Chick Corea. Moon wrote music for film and animated television series such as Two Stupid Dogs, Johnny Ball, which I liked as a kid. Sorry, remix. Cow and Chicken. Love that show. Grimm Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The Grimm Evil segments only. Very Odd Parents, will be receiving an Emmy Award nomination. What's Lucas for you, buddy? Danny Phantom. Tag in the Power of Juju, via music in 3 episodes only. Big Time Rush, Tough Puppy, and Back in the Backyard. Barnyards, my dad. He's also credited composing and orchestrating the music for Real Days of Johnny Quest. Animation Secrets, series produced by Cartoon Network, as well as mentions about Johnny Test. Moon resided in San Francisco Valley. On January 8th, 2026, which is last birthday, Moon was hit by a vehicle while riding a scooter in Wilmington, California. He died of respiratory injuries at the scene. He was 63 years old. The next step, Tom has to with John Cunningham. Born that name, he was best known as an American actor. Born up in New York City, New York on June 22nd, 1942. He joined the United States Army and was reformed in playing the troops. He was married to Catherine Cunningham for almost 70 years. He was best known for these films: Law and Order from 1991 until 2008, Nixon 1995, and so much more. So a lot of things I talk about. Twisted 1986. So not the Twisted, but 1996 we're referring to. Well, Twisters, my dad back. So what it's all about. But anyway, he died in his home in Raleigh, New York on January 6, 2026. He was 93 years old. The next step, Tom has with Jim McBride. Born Jimmy Ray McBride, he was an American country music singer, songwriter. He has written 5 number 1 songs, 10 top 10 singles, and 18 top 40 singles. In 2017, McBride started the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. McBride's songs have been recorded by more than 80 major artists. Including Alabama, Trace Atkins, Johnny Cash, Sammy Cochran, Diamond Rayo, Crystal Gale, Ron Gosson, John Green, Wade Haynes, Weston James, George Jones, Tony Keefe, Chris Covenant, Johnny Key, Lee, some of that, Jerry Lee Lewis, Monster, Reverend McGuire, the Tires, some of that, Willie Nelson, the Rich Boys, the Johnny Paycheck, Charlie Pye, Pam Tillis, Ray Travis, Charlie Woodley, and Keith Willie, pronounce it, sorry. Anyways, most of the collaboration was with Alan Jackson, was in the top 20 singles, was the tops in songs, chasing the neon rainbow. Who Says You Can't Have It All, and Someday. The song Chahui was selected as Song of the Year by ASCAP, American Songwriter and the Chinese Music Association. He was born in Huntsville, Alabama on April 28th, 1947. His parents was James Owen and Helen Ellis McBride. His grandfather was a sharecropper in Alabama. McBride grew up in listening to country music and WBHB. HB, something like that. With his mother. On Saturday night, his entire family listened to Great Old Opry. He attended Grayson High Elementary School, Lee Junior High School, before graduating from Lee High School in 1955. McBride spent his younger years reading about songs, especially the magazine's country song roundup. His favorite writers were Hank Williams and Don Gibson, something like that. Don Gibson, anyway. His first song when he was 12 years old. Began writing full-time at 18. In the 1970s, McBride wrote his first songs to Corey Putnam, a fellow songwriter from Alabama who had started Tree Publishing in Nashville, Tennessee. Putnam became McBride's mentor and friend. In the early 1970s, the Haggers recorded 5 of his songs and performed them on the television show Hee Haw. However, McBride did not make money from these recordings at all. Frustrated by his lack of success selling songs, McBride stopped writing. He's worked for the U.S. Post Office for 14 years. And in 1980, McBride told co-writer Margaret Mara that he would quit his job and move to Nashville. McBride just won't burn recording a single. McBride said, Rogers said this. Rogers called me one night and said, I guess you need to pack your bags and we'll go get Conway's next single. I quit the post office that day after Christmas in 1980. Okay. Stand by. Come right back. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I just have to take care of some business. Anyways, let's get back to the show right now. So show it. So we got for us. Anyways, his career began with this, okay? Conway to my dad, I'm pronouncing it, sorry. Released McBride's, song, Bridge that just won't burn in October 1980, something like that. Song entered the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart number 62, the week of October 18th, 1980. Stayed on the charts for 17 consecutive weeks. Peaking at number 3, this is the week of Jerry Taft, 1981. Won BMI Country Award 1981. In January 1981, the Bible started working as a songwriter for Bill Rice and Jerry Foster, along with Roger McGraw. McBride's first #1 hit song on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart was Bear Your Heart on Me, recorded by Johnny Lee and released on September 1981. These recordings entered the Billboard Hot Country Songs page number 55 is the week of October 3rd, 1981. Staying there for 15 consecutive weeks. Peaking #1 the week of December 5th, 1981. He also made the Billboard Hot 100 charts and the number 84 the week of October 10th, 1981. Peaking at number 54 and November 14th, 1981. In March 1983, the country band of Alabama released McBride's song Dixie Boy on this album, Country Again. Although McBride's song was not a hit at all, the album stayed at Billboard's top country albums charts for 206 weeks. Wow. It was also the Country Music Association's Album of the Year. In 1987, Rice and James released Walls in Paradise, a song McBride co-wrote with Stuart Harris. Walls in Paradise will rise to #1 in Billboard's Hot Country Songs charts in April 1987. Cecily publishers Charlie Monks and CBS Songs to buy McBride's contract with Jerry Foster. Also in 1987, George Jones recorded I'm a Survivor, a song McBride co-wrote with Gene Siegel for the album titled Too All, Too All. Wow. In 1988, McBride met Alan Jackson, as a young sister singer newly arrived in Nashville. Two began writing songs together. Jackson became McBride's most favorite collaborator during the 90s and 2000s. Jackson recorded their song Chasing the Neon Rainbow, released as a single in 1989. And another song written by a pair, Short Sweet Ride. The B-side, Chasing that Neon Rainbow. Wow. Peaked #2 on the Billboard's Hot Country Songs charts in December 1990, something like that. Songs also include Jack's album Here in the Real World, released in February 1999, along with 2 other songs written by McBride and Jackson. Above the albums peaked #57 on the Billboard's Top Country albums charts, with made multi-platinum. It was 1991's TNN Music Country City News Country Awards album of the year. Wow. While writing with Jackson, something like that, McBride wrote songs recorded by Aaron Tipton, Ray Travis Tripp, and Conway Twitty. Then McBride and Jackson co-wrote Someday, released by Jackson as a single in 1991. Someday is Billboard's country's airplay charts and Billboard Hot Country Songs charts on number 50 the week of August 21st, 1991, staying in charts for 20 successive weeks. Reached number 1 in both charts this week of November 9th, 1991. In 1992, the Brian Jackson co-wrote Challenge Who Grew Toogie, something like that. Jackson recorded the song and Billboard's Country Airplay charts and Billboard Hot Country Songs charts and number 32 the week of May 15th, 1993. It reached number 1 both charts the week of July 17th, 1993. Staying for 4 consecutive weeks. Chattahoochee, something like that, won the Academy of Country Music Song Single Record of the Year. The American Music Awards favorite country single, the ASCAP Country Awards Song of the Year, the Country Music Association Awards Single of the Year, Country Music Association Awards Song of the Year, the CNN Music something like that. Country Awards Single of the Year. Chattahoochee was recorded in Jackson's album a lot about living and a little more about love. Yeah, along with 3 other songs by songwriting duo Who Says You Can't Get Have It All. Trouble with depression and not have it. It's all if you have one thing, it's you. Who Says You Can't Have It All peaked number 4 on Billboard's Country's Airplay Hot Country Songs charts in April 1993. Anyway, Trouble with Depression peaked number 75 on Billboard's Hot Country Songs charts of 1993. The album entered the charts on October 24th, 1992, rated at number 84 on Billboard's 200 top album sales and top current album sale charts. In addition, number 24, the top country albums stayed on the top country albums charts in number 159 consecutive weeks. Reached number 1 in the week of August 14th, 1993. The body co-wrote When I Met the Said, which was recorded by Wade Hayes in 1995 years born. The song was top 10 single with won the 1996 BMI Country Award. Tammy Coltrane recorded Angels and Wade in 2001. The song she would co-wrote with McBride and Stuart Harris. The song was a top 10 single and won the 2002 BMI Country Award. He served as president of the National Songwriters Association. Personal life and death. He married and lived in Huntsville, Alabama. They have 2 sons, Brett and Wes. In January 1981, Brett and his family moved to Franklin, Tennessee, so he could write songs in Nashville. His second wife, Jeanette Ivy, is a former elementary high school classmate. Wow. They live in Hazel Green, Alabama, and once farmed by his grandfather. He died on January 27, 2026, on last Wednesday. He was 78 years old. The next step, top has to have John Corrins, I pronounce it. Born Thomas Harry Corrins Jr., who was an American television director and producer, who was best known for his work in Seinfeld, where he directed 81 to 86 episodes in the first 5 seasons. For his work directing the series, he won the Director's Gold of the American Award, the Primetime Emmy Award as a producer. He was born September 11, 1949, Tulsa, Alabama, where he was also raised. Well, father, Tom Torres Sr., operated a radio and television repair shop here, there. His grandfather was a Greek immigrant. His mother was Azel Bella Hayes with that. Wow. He was the younger brother, Bill Ferris with that, who was also working in Hollywood. He graduated from the University of New Mexico in 1961 with a bachelor's degree in journalism and received a master's degree in telecommunications from the University of Alabama in 1966. From 1961 to 1965, he was a director of the United States Navy, and something like that. So his career began with this. In He began working in educational television while a student at the University of Alabama, where he became produced and directed programs at WQED in Pittsburgh. His first work after moving to Hollywood in 1975 was a production manager for General Hospital. Wow. He began as a television director with my Mrs. Stam in the 1980s. In the 1990s, he directed and produced Seinfeld 81 episodes and News Radio 56 episodes. He worked on Seinfeld, working in Praise as well as Emmy, a DGA Award from the Global Award. He was also working on Looking Back Carter, Colorado in the City, and McGuire and Ellen. I've done a lot of work in survivors jobs before I got to Seinfeld. They pretty much all work with the same. As a producer, director, I was in a position to make this one look different. Larry and Jerry asked me early on, can we do this? Can we do that? I said, we can do anything you write and I'll shoot. He said in an interview with Hollywood director, reports, So of his Seinfeld episodes are considered highlights in the series, including the Chinese restaurant, parking garage, and the contest. With Larry featured on the Vegas and the greatest television episodes of all time. When Seinfeld he appears, the cameo and the physical director of the pilot episode. He left Seinfeld after season 5 and Jerry Springfield's request. Well, it's tired of the same fate. I guess we would change writers almost every season. And finally he just wanted somebody else. I'm never precious, we try to keep it fresh, he said. He was succeeded by his lead director by A. Eggerman. In 2003, he was inducted in the Alabama State Screen Hall of Fame. He was also inducted in the University of Alabama College Commission Commercial Science Hall of Fame in 2001. His later life goes like this. From 2002 to 2014, he taught a film production course at the University of Alabama Tuscaloosa. We have earned a master's degree in 1976. In 2012, he published his first novel, The Hardy Boys, a part of his own Hardy Boys books. He had personal life and death. He had 2 children, Susan and Scott, but his marriage was first wife, Bobby. He moved to Hollywood in 1975 with his second wife, Joyce Kerr, who died in 2006. He was later married to photographer Carl E. Richards. Divided between Florence, Oregon, and Taos, New Mexico, something like that. He died from Alzheimer's disease in his home in Oregon last Monday. He was 86 years old. Next step, top host of Michael Reagan, born John Charles Bagger. He was American presidential commentator, Republican Party strategist, and radio talk show host. He was adopted son of former U.S. President Ronald Reagan, his first wife, actress Jay Wyman. He was a columnist for Newsmax. He was born John Charles Bagger, a Hollywood president medical center in Los Angeles on March 18, 1945. Nancy Aaron Fryer, October 18, 1916 to December 26, 1985. An unmarried woman from Kentucky who became pregnant through a relationship with John Hauser from 1918 to 1993. A U.S. Army colonel. He was adopted by Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman shortly after his birth. Well, yeah. He was expelled from Royal High School after a short period from school, and in 1964 he graduated from Johnson School, boarding school outside of Scottsdale, Arizona. He attended Arizona State University for less than one semester at Los Angeles Valley College, but never graduated. In 1965, the FBI warned Ronald Reagan that in the course of the organized crime investigation had discovered that Michael was associated with his son, the crime boss Joseph Barrazo, which would have been become a campaign issue that had been publicly known. Reagan thanked the FBI and said they would tell his side that the Treasury could discontinue the association. His career began with this. As a salesman. Sometimes before September 1970, okay? Reagan was working as a salesman for a clothing company, Hargs, Scriber, and Marks. He then became the director of sales special events covering the Michelson Food Service Company in Los Angeles. In 1981, he was hired as a salesman again, but this time for Virtual Current Circuits, a circuit board company owned by Royal Heron Sr. As an actor, he was small roles in movies and television shows began in 1985, including Falcon Crest, which stars mother Jane Ryman. In 1987, hold on, let me scroll down a little bit. Anyway, he served as the host for the first season of a television game show, Ringo. Wow. His radio career began with this. His work on talk radio stars in Southern California local market as a guest host of local radio commentator Michael Jackson's talk show radio show host slot on KABC in Los Angeles. The real Michael Jackson, not the real Michael, the pop star, not that, but the Michael Robin Jackson, different Michael Jackson. Anyway, after this began, he went on a talk show spot on KSDO and radio in San Diego. Reagan also hosted the Michael Reagan Show nationwide for most of the 2000s. The show was syndicated on premier networks in Radio America. After that, he focused on public speaking about his father. His other career began with this. In 1988, he wrote with John Hams about autobiography of Michael Reagan on the outside looking in. He also wrote about he was, I'm not going to say the S word, sorry, abused about at the age of 7 by a camp counselor. In 2005, he wrote Twice Adopted about his feelings about rejecting about being adopted, parents divorcing, and becoming a born-again Christian. Political career started with this. Same-sex marriages. I'm not going to say the S word again, but anyway. In April 2013, in the Senate column, Reagan encourages that American churches have not fought hard enough to block same-sex marriages. He wrote that regarding arguments to support gay marriage, supporting arguments that could be used to support pornography, blasphemy, and murder. As he wrote this, there was also a very slippery slope leading to other alternative relationships and the other varieties of a law based on morality. Think about poetry, blasphemy, and perhaps even murder. Yeah, I don't know what to do next. Called the exclusion of Mark Dice. In June 2008, Mark Dice launched a campaign of urging people to send letters and DVDs to U.S. troops stationed in Iraq, which supports the value of the... Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. No. Okay. Were an inside job. There's too much information right there. But, Operation Inform the Soldiers. Dice is called Prominent Reagan to comment that Dice should be exclusive free in president. Exactly. There's a Russian reports with that. Liberal progressive media criticism organization asked Radio America saying this. In the time that it explained whatever it preferred saying this. It's also called murder in the air. I don't know. Tell me. Support for profiling. And it said this. Now, Reagan spoke out in support of profiling in October 2014. Piece called Profile or Die. I don't know why. Anyways, to support them, it will be left for citizens to defend themselves if there was an attack against them by therapists such as a Islamic State. Donald Trump. In 2016, Reagan said he will not vote for Donald Trump. Exactly. Thank you. and his source Ted Cruz in the party. They said via X formerly Twitter that he would vote Trump in 2020 and 2024 elections. Why? In 2025, he defended the Trump tariffs. Okay? Called for civil war. September 4th, 2025, Carson, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Reagan said this. Maybe we do need a Civil War 2.0. I don't know. You tell me. With guns. Politics have become so partisan and so nasty. Using guns to settle up national political differences may soon end up being the only solution. What? It was legal problems. In 1981, Reagan was accused of felony violations of California's secretary's laws and court documents. The Los Angeles County District Equality revealed that Reagan had borrowed investors into lawful stock arguments, something like that. Anyway, so it sucks, despite the fact that he was not legally permitted to do so. The DA's office investigated information that Reagan and Mosley spent money investing in the biographers in a company. Energy resources he operated out of his office and the better development pressure of the gas walls from that. Coalition of alcohol and gasoline. Investigations said that he were only checking whenever he had spent up to $17,500 in produce money to move living expensive. District Envoy's office cleared that Reagan revoked charges later that year. September 2012, both Tim Reagan, Tim Kelly, and it was the three people. Anyway, Reagan, Tim Kelly, and T.J. Hoffman was sued by a fellow partner. Wow. For very withholding the partner's interest in the email business, BillRonaldReagan.com domain name. Sad man, no. In 2015, Los Angeles Supreme Court jury found Reagan the promotion and breach of authority duty. Reagan and his business partners were ordered to pay $62,500 each in damages. Wow. Personal life and death. In June 20, 1971, Reagan married Pamela Yale Putnam, born in 1952, daughter of Julia Putnam. Oh, wow. Former Atlanta Falcons football coach. Wow. The couple divorced in 1972. He then married Colleen Stearns, an auto disaster in 1975, the church is away. They have two children, Cameron and Ashley. Cameron and his wife live in the Turtle Lake area of Los Angeles. In January 2011, he called his adopted brother Ron Reagan, the biological son of Ronald Reagan, the second wife, Nancy Reagan. An embarrassment for a experiment of memoir and their father suffering an arm disease while president. Wow. My little sister, Moran, unlike the more little siblings, Patty and Ron, agreed that more their father's controversial political views. The relationship with stepmother, Nancy Reagan, was tense and strained. He was not attending his field in 2016 at all. He then passed away of cancer in Los Angeles on January 4th, 2026. He was 80 years old. This is shocking, you know? Fortunately. The next step topic has to do with Sidney Carbrick, born Sidney Henry Paul Carbrick. He was the very last of these American child actors probably active in Hollywood late in the 1930s. No one appeared in the Our Gay Sword Sergeant film series. Sadly, he was the last surviving actor known for playing on future Our Gay characters. This is from 1933 to 1939. So the 2000s. Carbrick was the last surviving actors. Born in Minnesota in the USA, July 2nd, 1928, and his older brother was an actor and fellow Our Gay cast member, Bernard Carbrick, was born in 1924. He attended Mount Vernon Junior High the University of Southern California. He was Jewish. Our gay career began with this. Carver's family was located in Los Angeles when he was 5 years old. It was discovered that Garvin's Chinese Peter was his mother. The film producer was scouting for children to appear in our game film sort subjects. Was created by Al Roach. Carver's introductory feature in a brief non-dialogue appearance in the extra in the feature film Dead End. It was served as one of the free and sold children held together during one of the rubber dog scenes. He made his uncredited film debut at All Night in 1943. Now, there a few more uncredited roles was cast in Ridgewood in 1945. Although his character was not without a name. From 1947 to 1949, he was given a character name of Worm. A Brooklyn accent pronounced as Worm. Makes more sense anyway. Was psychic neighborhood bully Butch, played by Tommy Bond. In 2023, he was described as at the time working on our game. We have 2 hours of schooling in the morning, and then work anywhere from 6 to 16 hours until we finish. That's a lot of work. No question about it. But the director Gordon Douglas was a terrific guy. It was really able to get out a lot of each kid. He was also mentioned he was a lifelong friendship with Spanky McFarland, and still visit each other despite living in different states. Carver said that Carl, a fellow swearer, was difficult to create problems on set and was unkind to control others on set, both our game, cast, and background extras. He earned $750 a week for working on our game at age 15. He was tired of acting, and although his parents pursued him to continue, they eventually went along with his wishes. Post-our game career began with this. He, after leaving Hollywood's showbiz career behind, worked as a real estate developer. He kept in touch with our game members as reunions, kept with his host, and in 1991, he acknowledged that he was been involved with the tragic lives of former child actors having adults. He lived in Los Angeles in 2022 and attended an exhibit at Hollywood Museum on the 100th anniversary and celebrated with massive Blu-ray releases of the series. Carver died in the hospital in Northridge, Los Angeles on January 2nd, 2026. He was the last surviving the main arcade cast member. He was 97 years old. And my last death topic has a comparison. Born Conrad Allen Patterson, he was an American visual effects artist. Born in Minnesota on April 15, 1944. He was best known after majoring in art and watching UCLA. He began working at Disney, where he met Murder Bond. He was best known for working being the special effects supervisor for 2001: A Space Odyssey in 1998. He also worked on View at the Top from 2003 and Scooby-Doo 2: Boston Unleashed in 2004. He died on January 2nd, 2006 in Lowland Hills, Los Angeles. He was 91 years old. Now, we're going to do a multi-side special question. Not one, not two, but 11 death topics right now. Thank you. Rest in peace, 11 people. Now, I got 2 more topics to share with you all. Now, and I will tell you about the new things I want to tell you about what happens to the some serious news from LHBM and for some friends of mine. Okay, so here let's talk about it. Here we go. First off, we're going to talk about will PBS, NPR shut down, what to know about after CBB announced disclosure. Now, here's the no, okay? After more than half a century operation, non-public organization responsible for funding public media, such as NPR and PBS, was dissolved following millions in budget cuts surrounded by the Trump administration. The Board of Corporation for Public Broadcasting, CBB, filed up to dissolve the organization on last Monday, after Congress voted in July to call back $1.1 billion that have been allocated for these use. President Trump has rallied against the CBB, NPR, and PBS since the start of his presidency at all costs. And I thought it was a sad point in my childhood, my start, because it was my childhood growing up, unfortunately. But anyway, accusing the organizations of failing to present fair, inclusive, and based professional current events, campaign citizens. Trump has repeatedly targeted media organizations. It was just unfortunate. It was part of my childhood. Like I said, anyway, they proceeds and Aaron concept that they have unfavorable towards the administration. Now, CBB administrated disclosure of the lack of funding and severe personal attacks, saying it will no longer fund its range upon its 1967 founding. It's reported by USA Today. CBB was primarily funder of NPR and PBS, such as stations and properties from that. Both organizations had previously warned they would struggle to continue operating without the support of federal monies from that. Wow. This is sad to me, I know. I know it's heartbreaking, you all, but this is sad, you know? Now, what is the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, may I ask? Now, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is a non-profit, non-governmental organization that is created by governments via the Public Broadcasting Act of 1997. Now, its purpose is to provide funding and support the media, public media, and across the United States, and enable greater and equitable access to information and education. The CBB provides millions of grants to local public media, television, and radio stations, according to its website. It's best known for funding National Public Radio, NPR for short, according to its network of hundreds of local news sources and television radio shows in communities across the country, and the PBS Public Broadcasting Service for short, which has shows like Sesame Street, concerts, cooking shows, documentaries, news, with PBS News I grew up with, by the way, and weather warnings, you know. It also wants to home to the other media beloved shows, including Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Bob Ross's Joy and Pain. Rogers remix by you, Blake. What happened to CBB after last Monday? The Corporation for Public Broadcasting Board of Directors voted on last Monday to solve its mission after funding cuts. CBB already announced on August 1st of last year that it will be shuttered for $1 billion. Federal funding because of the organization USA Today report. Now, more than half of the century, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting existed to be sure that all Americans, regardless of geography, economy, or background, have access to trust, news, educational programming, and local storytelling, said President CEO Patricia Harrison in public press release. When her administration and Congress restricted federal funding, a broad base of profound responsibility. CBB's follow-up will be the part of the registry of the public media service system and the democratic values of dissolving rather than allowing the organizations to remain defunded and violate them to eventual attacks. This is sad. I know, Mrs. Harrison. Anyways, the corporation has said that it will keep under some employees and for orderly culture, which will include distributing what phase funds supporting the American Archive Public Broadcast, which I have I love this website at that. But it's a reference to first historic content. It partnered with University of Maryland to prepare all archives, which is corporation said that will be made publicly available. And it was a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, will NPR PBS shut down? Now, sadly, it will not shut down. Some associated properties, especially those who are more regional and local income areas, may suffer. And it was sad, you know? CPB will be the 7% portion of NPR PBS's funding, but not all the other means and organizations will have to find another means of filling $1 million gaps. This is sad, I know. Now, CPB said 70% of the federal funding went to local-owned public media stations. Now, what does that mean? Now, reaching roughly 99% Americans associates personally told USA Today saying that the budget's cut when this property donations will not affect rural areas, especially wars and incident news and information deserts. It is unclear at this time this how many programs may have funded. PBS said the same on last Wednesday that we continue to operate despite funding windfall. This is sad, I know. Now, in a remarkable institution closed its doors, PBS remains strong and resilient. We remain committed to the building of CBB's legacy by maintaining our service to the American people in the years to come, it said. Now, NPR released a similar statement on January 6th last Tuesday, saying in part this: while the structures of strong may change, the meaning of public media has never been greater. Our commitment to serving the public with free, reliable, and independent journalism is unwavering. We will continue this work with resolve and creativity, powered by the public trust that have sustained us this far. And that will make sense. Some trademark proposals have risk, started our solutions, such as Sesame Street recent deal with Netflix. And I agree with that, 100%. That's it for that topic. Let's move on to the last topic before we get to our recent LSPM news to share. And then we'll get to the Right podcast news after this. But anyway. And this has to do with PBS News. Now, I grew up with PBS News growing up. And this happened today. Okay? Now, sadly, PBS News confirms Weekend Team will air its final broadcast today. Due to the federal budget cuts, we have to make the difficult decision to rework our staffing and programming. The boss shared in our news hour broadcast last Friday. PBS News Weekend will sign up for good today and retro budget cuts will force the broadcaster to rework the staffing and programming. PBS News anchors Almond and Jeff shared an update during the Friday evening news broadcast when they invited weekend anchor John Ye to reflect his time on PBS. Now, this saddens me. I met John Ye 2 years ago, nearly a year and a half ago, and this is unfortunate, but this is how much I'm heartbroken at this time. I really want to miss John, but I really want to see John more, but nope, it ain't gonna happen. Anyways, we want to know the change here on PBS News, Ben share off before I head over the updates in the bars. Who added this? Due to federal budget cuts, we have to make this difficult decision where our staffing and programming, and this, which is today, by the way, our PBS News Weekend team will sign off the air. Before turning the floor over the air, the voice press on how much the PBS family would miss their newsman. I agree, because this is a fortune right there. I want to say this. I'm missing John, but I met John September 2024. You know, just before Trump got elected. You know, I met him in person before. When I do anything that John is gonna leave NewsHour like that, I'm gonna miss him. You know, thank you doesn't mean everybody getting to cover it. Shad, this. You and your team have been done incredible storytelling and cover major breaking news every weekend. Yeah, you took a moment to highlight the major news moments his small budget, mighty team has covered over the last several years, including October 7th attacks, the first assassination attempt on President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. We're proud of the credit and the dedication they brought these in every segment, week and weekend, week out. He continued. I'll be leaving PBS News at the end of the month, and I've stepped back from the full-time work. But I'm delighted to say that many members in this team will be sticking around. Per year, some of the staffers will be producing some exciting news programming. This is set to retire live in the near future. Now, I'm fortunate that PBS News Weekend is no longer on the air, but it's heartbreaking. That's what I'm going to say. And with that note, I'm going to say 3 more things to say before we end this up. And this will be the end of the show. Okay? Before we go, I have 3 more things to say before we go. And this will be the end of the show right there. What happened to Elgin Fry's series finale? Well, I have to tell you, okay? I have been up back quickly because last Wednesday I had a health problem, and this is what happened. Okay, if you had to check out my weekend celebration episode sometime today, which I'll be uploading sometime. I'm taping this on a Sunday, which, by the way, I'm releasing this on a Sunday on Weekend Celebration episode. I was gonna do it on Friday, but nah, I'm not doing it Friday or premiere event time. I'll do it on Sunday because what happened is I fainted in from the chair to the floor for no reason, and I stepped back in my desk and and laid down on the bed for about 30 minutes. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot. I stopped recording, so I thought, nope, this is not the game for me. I have to delete the game called Tetris Blast for the Game Boy. So sorry, Remix, if you're watching this, I may not be able to play Tetris Blast anymore. So it's not the game for me. So not anymore. I'm afraid. I'm going to have to play some slow-paced games now, so, video games, so, due to a difficult decision to make. So, I may have to, play some slow-paced games, no more fast-paced games. I told Chris Kane about it today, but, nonetheless, I may have to do it anyway, so there you go. And then, what's the change for Ocean Friday's series finale episode? Well, instead of doing it last Friday, I may have to change it back to this upcoming Friday, January 16th, 2026. Because I don't know what happened to me, because it may just happen to change. That's a second change what's going on with the Urgent Fridays series finale episode. So I may have to do it anyway. Sorry it took me so long, but it may happen. So there you go. So that will be the change for Elgin Friday's episode 448 series finale show. I may have to fix the issue that what's going to happen to Elgin Friday's episode 448 series finale. I may have to finish some props and then what's going to happen to the whole issue here. So that would be the change of what's going on, but who knows. And the third prop thing is folks, it's going to 2 of my best friends, Brad Martin and Joy Scott. Now, I think it's a major problem. I think that Brad Martin and Joy Scott were under attack by a troll for no reason. And what it is, folks, they're gonna do the show on their Facebook, Brandon Martin's Facebook account now. Because I'm thinking that one of the main issue is that they're no longer gonna be on YouTube. So, Flies Brian, Joy, good luck with doing this on podcasting form on the next chapter, but it won't be the same, unfortunately. But it's unfortunate that Brian and Joy's YouTube channel has been terminated now, but I'm shocked and heartbreaking. At the same time, they're doing the shows on Monday now, but it's just too much. So yeah, good luck in your adventures, and for Pete's sake, put yourself on Facebook is not going to help much. 327 is coming away Monday, which is tomorrow, on Brandon Martin's Facebook page and other things like that, Apples and all that devices. But be look out for those. Brandon Podcast 327, and I'll pay for the plug for that. But you know, it won't be the same on YouTube. Not be on anymore on YouTube, but due to difficulties, you know. What's next for Rainwave? It's not gonna happen on YouTube anymore. But yeah. I'm sorry for you guys who are wondering what happened to Rainwave Podcast. It's not on YouTube anymore, so that's just me. So anyway, problem solved. You know. But anyways, guys, that was TheCrazyBunch's WebShow episode number 140. I hope you enjoyed this, and sorry that I have health problems this past week, because what it is just I had major problems, you know, this past 5 days, you know. I feel a lot better now than it was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but Saturday is okay. Sunday, it's getting a little better, but you know. But I hope you understand how I feel, but I'm just saying my body and everything, but let's hope and keep praying for me. Hope it gets back to normal. But anyway, stay tuned for the next one. It's going to be the aftermath of Elgin Fridays. For real this time, because I'm not going to be able to do much about this, but, you know, that's just me. Till next time, suggested by Baby, for more Crazy Bunch web shows, episodes, we got from soon say out. See ya.